Hi guys, it's Bilf here and welcome back to my channel. It's finally time to do a makeup haul with all the makeup that I tripped and spent all of my money on in a recent vlog. I'm really excited to show this stuff off and show you a little video of me applying everything after I give the items a quick rating. I'll go in order of application, I suppose, so we'll start off with the Professional primer. This stuff has amazing reviews and is supposed to be really smoothing and really minimizing of your pores. I haven't noticed that much help with my pores, especially in my T-zone. They're pretty horrendous right now. It's really nice to apply, but I've used this maybe 3 or 4 times now and I feel like I've almost emptied the bottle, which is a bit concerning. I give the Professional 3 stars. Next up we have the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. This was another one that had astounding reviews and reactions online, which is why I went for it. It's supposed to be really smooth, really silky, feels light on your skin, and has some amazing coverage. Now I agree with all of that except for the coverage. I don't know if it's my skin that I've been having some problems with recently, but I did manage to get rid of the dryness and the flakiness that I've been having in my sort of upper brow and nose area, but the coverage on this foundation still just isn't there for me. I still feel like I have a lot of marks and texture and blemishes that I would normally try to cover up with foundation. I've learned now from this that I think I would prefer a more full coverage foundation, so now we know for next time. Laura Mercier gets another 3 stars from me. For concealer, I went with the Fenty Beauty concealing range. We definitely picked something too light for my skin here. It looks white on me, which is kind of bizarre because we swatched it in the store and I don't remember it looking that light, and I don't know. It does a really nice job, I feel, but I still am so distracted by the fact that it's too bright for my skin. I definitely like something a little closer to my actual skin tone so that I can use it to spot conceal, because at the moment this is basically a highlighter for me. The Fenty Beauty, I think I'll give 4 stars. It's hard to properly rate knowing that it's not quite my shade, but I think it still does a good job concealing the purpleness that is normally under my eyes. I picked up blush for the first time ever. I've never had just a blush on its own. This is the Pretty Vulgar 13 Mirror shade. It's very vivid, very beautiful, applies very vividly as well, so I've been sort of learning some brush techniques to apply it very gently to my face because I don't want to have giant pink splotches, but I mean, if you were going for that look, it applies like that if you want to, so I think that's kind of cool how pigmented it is. So I'm going to give Pretty Vulgar 5 stars. I picked up an eyeshadow palette for myself as well. I went with the Naked 3 because it's got quite neutral tones with a sort of gold pink kind of undertone to it, which are some of my favorite looks with makeup. I went with something more neutral because I want to really practice with eyeshadow, with applying it and getting the looks right, and I feel like something neutral will make it easier for me to want to wear it every day. I won't feel like I'm going to be standing out too much, so I'm excited about that. I really love the pigmentation and how well they apply to the skin. I definitely have a lot of practice to go. I haven't gotten it quite perfect yet, but I don't think it's fault of the palette, so I'm going to give the Naked 3 5 stars. I've even been enjoying using the brush that comes with it. I already have a flat brush and a blending brush to use of my own, but it's nice just to have that extra one that comes there. Now for lips, I treated myself here and I went with the Huda Beauty 4 color little pack here. It is called the Matte and Strobe Minis Lip Set. 10 minutes into Netflix and chill and she gives you this look. Now normally I go with like a Colourpop satin liquid lip, something that's very thin, very light, and does not transfer. Now these definitely transfer, and I swatched them in the store and that's how I know that, but I bought them regardless because I'm absolutely in love with them. They smell amazing. It feels like I'm eating dessert when they're on my face. They just go on so beautifully. There's so much product, but it doesn't feel gluggy or anything. It's just so smooth and silky. They do sit quite lightly on the lip. I can't speak highly enough of this. This gets 6 stars. For eyes, I needed a new liner, so I went with the Kat Von D Tattoo Ink Liner. This is the Trooper Black, and it's just a really nice fine line. I've really been struggling with applying it because my eyes are just driving me crazy lately, and I don't actually use it too much in the face that I put on. I just connect my lashes to my inner corner. I would normally do a wing, but I've just been struggling so much I decided to forget it. But judging by the pigmentation of this and how well it stays, I have, you know, practiced with it and rubbed my face and nothing comes off. I'll give it a 5 star. I also grabbed some mascara from Kat Von D, the Go Big or Go Home. I hate how goopy it is and how much of it sticks to the actual brush and everything, but it seems to apply okay. There are still little chunks and everything, but I've always gotten that with mascara, and my eyelashes aren't the best, so I don't know if that's me or Kat Von D. I'll give it 3 stars because I don't really notice anything super different from this and every other mascara that I've used. God, I brought this home and I showed Zeta my haul, and she looked at everything and was really excited, but then she was like, is that Kat Von D, like, anti-vax? And I was like, oh yeah. But we're just here for the products. We'll forget all of that, shall we? Oh, and I can't forget the brush that I picked up as well. I normally apply my foundation with a sponge and I kind of hate it, so I picked up a flat stippling brush to put my foundation on. The lady at Mecca used a very similar brush to this one when we were testing out my Laura Mercier shade, and I've really been enjoying applying with it. Again, I think the issues that I've been having with the foundation is the foundation and the coverage. I don't think it's the brush's fault. So I'm going to give this 4 star. I wish I didn't have one that had a really fluffy edge here, so 4 stars for you. Lastly, to finish up the face, I got myself a setting spray, which is the Urban Decay All Nighter. This is the long-lasting makeup setting spray. 16-hour wear, apparently very lightweight. I've never ever used a setting spray before. It is really nice. It just feels like I'm spraying my face with water. I can't really speak for the longevity of it just yet because I haven't really gone out and done anything, but I'm going to be vlogging tonight out and about in town, so we'll keep this face on and see if it holds up. Alright, let's get into this makeup look. I will quickly start by apologizing about the editing on this video. I've never really done anything with my green screen like this before, and I know that the audio is a little bit janky because I still don't have a microphone for my camera, but I will be fixing all of that soon, so thank you for bearing with. I started priming with the primer. I'm dotting the foundation over my face just to get enough product on there, and then I'm going to be blending it out with the brush in large, like, sweeping, buffing motions. And then we are reapplying in sections that I feel really need more coverage. So that's my problem area on my cheek, under my eyes a little bit, and then making sure that we blend the neck as well. Here is the Fenty Beauty Concealer. As you see, it's very, very white on me, which creates a very interesting look under the eye, but the fact that I try to use it to prime my eyelids for the eyeshadow makes me look a little bit like a ghost, so I think I might have to invest in another shade of this, unfortunately. I'm setting my under eye and really my entire face with just a Kmart supermarket setting powder. It's just a clear translucent powder. I don't really understand baking or setting, so I'm just caking it on there with my beauty blender and then dusting it off with a large round brush. And I do apply this all over my face just so I don't have that sticky kind of wet foundation feeling. Makes my whole face nice and smooth. I'm bronzing with a Colourpop pressed powder just in the hollows of my cheeks there, and adding a little bit of a border to the outside of my face and my nose. I try not to go too heavy around my forehead. As you can see, I have quite a low hairline and I'm always worried of bringing my face in too close, so I'm using the same brush to put my blush on, and I'm just dusting very, very lightly so it doesn't add too much colour to my cheeks. It's a really nice light look, I feel, but unfortunately I don't think it quite lasts, so I think I'm going to have to learn to stop being afraid of dark contour and figure out how to make that work. Just adding a tiny little bit of highlighter from the Colourpop highlighting range. It feels very strange to apply. It's like a sort of sponge, so you have to use your finger, so I'm, again, very gentle with this. I don't want to smear it all over my face in big streaks. I just use the one product for my brows. I basically am just filling them in, a little scared to overdraw too much. I did try to arch them a little bit because they've gotten quite rounded, but you'll see that I sort of changed my mind and wiped that off and just go back to filling and try to keeping them neat. God, matching these is so difficult. I don't know what it is about it, but close enough. I've had a few practice runs with this palette, and sometimes the colours show up really, really nicely, sometimes they blend really nicely. I feel like today was a much softer day. The darks didn't show up quite as much as they have in the past, but I was also shying away from the really darker end of the palette because I didn't want to have big black smudges around the corners of my eyes. So I'm switching between a flat
brush and my blending brush to sort of pack the colour on and blend it out over my eyelid. I'll put the shades up on the screen if you wanted to follow along with the palette that I'm using. The general rule I'm sticking to is just darker on the outside of the lid and brighter on the inside. Nothing too fancy, just something nice and natural. I'd love to invest in some even lighter shades, I think, to help make that lid pop, but as you can see, I have very wrinkly eyelids. I don't know what it is about them, I don't know how to fix it, but it's always made eyeshadow and eyeliner a bit of a nightmare. I picked up these eyelashes just from a chemist, and for some reason this was the hardest I've ever tried to apply them, and I have put them on I think twice before now. Sometimes hands are easier, sometimes tweezers are, I don't even know, but they didn't want to stick, they didn't want to go in the right position. We got them on eventually, but it took, I swear, maybe about 30 minutes just to put on the lashes there. I'm just using the mascara to sort of help blend my fake lashes and real lashes together, although, good God, on my right eye, I'm pretty sure I have no eyelashes left. I wanted to do a wing or some kind of fancy look, but I ended up just filling in the inner corner where my fake lashes left a gap. I was a little bit too scared to add a proper wing because I just had a bad feeling about how steady my hands would be that day. This is the Huda Beauty liquid lip. I love it so much. It just goes on so smoothly. It smells amazing. I want to go wear some right now, like just for that smell. And that is the finished look, yay!
Thank you guys so much for watching. I won't be doing too many beauty videos like this, so I hope you enjoyed, but I hope you didn't enjoy it too much. I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Late!